Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to do a review and a couple eyeshadow looks. I'm thinking three eyeshadow looks with this Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes Eyeshadow Palette. This just arrived at Sephora. I got it in the mail last night or yesterday, and I am excited, but the price is steep. It is $68, and I think we're all kind of shocked at the price. I want to see his other eyeshadow palette. Okay, his all matte eyeshadow palette was $48, so that's $20 more for this one. It seems like there's some really pretty creamy shimmery shades, so I'm gonna take a look at this. I'll open it with you guys. But yeah, I think we're all kind of like, wait, what the heck? Like, that's a lot of money. So this is the outer packaging like this. Okay, so this is much more like heavy and sturdy. I think this is metal. Like, it feels kind of like metal. And, it still has the clean Makeup by Mario packaging. Let me grab his other palette. So this is the size difference. I'm going to hold it here because I think the lights are too bright. So obviously this is the smaller one, and it is smaller. It's all mattes. I love this palette. It's a great kind of beginner friendly palette, and in my makeup kit, I love it so much. And now this is the new one, and the pans are bigger. And how many you get here? It is the same amount. It's 12 eyeshadows in both, but the pans seem bigger in this. So this is the eyeshadow palette. I'm gonna do some swatches with you in person because I kind of want to see how they look, and I want to capture that on camera. Let me take this little sticker off from here. I can do this. So when I look at this palette, I get very excited because I am so freaking boring. Like, I would just do this in the crease and then a sparkle all over, and I'd be good for evening and morning. Like, I am quite basic with my eyeshadow. So for me, it's exciting, but I do see how some people would just kind of feel like it's boring because the shades, mainly all this section, looks quite light and fair. This section, you definitely have these deeper tones, which are absolutely needed. But I don't know, to me, this looks very exciting. So let's kind of start the swatches. I'm gonna go this way. So let's start up here. This feels nice and creamy. And let's see. It is obviously a cream color. It feels nice and smooth. And I'm going into the sparkly shade, and this feels a very creamy. It feels more like a top coat. So let's see. Can you guys see anything? There we go. Yeah, this looks quite nice and sparkly. It kind of reminds me of maybe the Patrick Ta toppers or the Tom Ford toppers. That's really pretty. Next color is this probably perfect crease shade if you're my skin tone. Oh, that's pretty. I wanted to deep again. I like that color. I think that will be really pretty in the crease. And then the last one on this row, these seem much creamier than his other shadows from the all mattes. That is the last one on the first row. So far, so good. Also, these don't really have names. They have like EE5, 6, 7, 8. So I don't mind that actually. This is the second row, first shade, another creamy color. I'm sorry, matte color. But they do feel nice and creamy. Like, I like this formula. Very pretty. Moving on to another like shimmery topper shade. Oh, that looks good. I'm wondering if these will get hard pan like the Tom Ford ones do. Okay, let's see. Ooh, these glide so fast and easy. Oh, that's a pretty shade. Let me fix it. Yes. So these are literal glitters. Let's put it closer. Yeah, these feel like actual, like very elegant, soft glitters. Next one is this beautiful rosy color. Okay. Oh yeah, I love that. And it kind of goes well. Like this rose seems to be a little bit more cool tone. So pretty. And then the last color is this, wow. It is a deeper chocolatey color that it seems to be more metallic smooth rather than glitter. Okay, I feel like I'm like all the way to the other side. There we go. In the center. That's really pretty. Last row, let's start with this creamy matte. That is a really pretty brown. Next one is again a sparkly shimmery shade. So I'm not sure if you can see this one right here. This one is the other shimmer shade right here. I think it's a very similar to my skin tone, so it's not that noticeable. Okay, moving on to this kind of grayish. Ooh, this reminds me of the Pat McGrath one. That is the grayer topper. I feel like these have more pigment to it and not quite as much sparkle as the ones up here. Okay, and then last one is this deep brown. There we go, that's the last one. These are the swatches. I decided to kind of stand up so you can see them better. And I'm excited. The formula seems much better in this palette. So I wanted to swatch his original formula from this one and his new formula. And I don't know if you guys can tell that this one, the new formula of the mattes, it's much more intense. It's much creamier than the first one. This one looks a little bit chalkier and it is dry compared to this one. This feels much creamier. So I think he even improved the formula of the mattes in this new palette. So the way I see this palette set up, it kind of seems like this top layer is more softer for fair skin, everyday look, and neutral. This middle one is definitely a little bit more cool tone, rosy tones in here, and then this one seems just a little deeper. You know, you have this like grayer tone, this deep color, so I think it's kind of laid out good. Like I like the layout of it because you can kind of go in one area if you're kind of confused of what to do. I'm probably not gonna follow that. I'm just gonna create some looks. I don't think you're gonna be able to create a ton of different looks with this. I see some looks, but it seems like the shimmers on the eye may look decently similar. So I swatched these 3 shimmers. This one's definitely lighter. It's probably going to be good for inner corner. This is definitely pink and this has a gold shift. And then let's swatch this one. Yeah, the deeper one right here. Wait, I swatched in the wrong one. Never mind. This one is, it reminds me of the Pat McGrath one because it has almost a taupey slight shift in it. Even gray green. Can you guys see it? Yes. I want to swatch this one from Pat McGrath. So intense. I barely touched. So that is Pat McGrath. And the color from, oh, it's deeper. Yeah. The color from Makeup by Mario, it's this one right here. Yeah, they're different. This one's much brighter and almost smoother. The Makeup by Mario is less impactful, less intense, but it's still really pretty, and it has a little bit more brown green undertone rather than gray. All right, let's start doing some looks. Starting off, I'm taking the color EE1, and it is a beautiful cream color, it acts really well as a base in just blending edges. Then this color number 3, it's really nice for the crease. It's great for lighter skin tones for a soft crease color. Then moving on to color number 4, I love this color. It's more of a neutral brown and it blends in so easy. Look at that. It just was able to give me a soft, blurred out look. Then this color number 2, wow. Look at this shimmer. I almost feel like the lights are blurring this up because it's so bright and intense. I love the effect that this one has. Going back into that brown, just defining the lash line a little bit and taking it on the lower lash line as well. Again, such a good color. To blend in the lower lash line, I took the color number 3, and you see there's a lot of kickback, but there's not a lot of fallout. Brightening up that inner corner with number 2. And that's about it. A little bit of mascara, and that's the finished look. Starting look number 2 with this more of a cool tone, purpley color in my crease. I think it's really pretty. Then surprised by this pink. This built up like more color than I expected, and it again blended in so softly, very easy to use. I kind of wanted to do that halo eye effect, but soft and wearable, and just blending those two colors together, leaving the center bare. In the center, I took this beautiful sparkly shade. Again, I feel like the lights in these colors are kind of clashing. It's almost too bright. The shades are too sparkly and the lights kind of wash it out. But this has a lot of beautiful glitter and sparkles in it. On the lower lash line, kind of copying what I did on the top, taking the crease color and the pink and blending it out. In the center of the lid, I also took that sparkly shade and just added it in the center, copying again exactly what I did on the top. I took the shade number 2 in the inner corner to brighten that up, and I think that's just such a good inner corner color. Took this last deep dark brown to define my eyes, add a little bit of smokiness, not too much. Some mascara, and this is the finished look. I think these two looks are very soft, wearable, but you can tell that one's more neutral and one's a little bit more cooler tone, but not too much. Still very wearable. Last look, I'm taking this warmer brown, and this one blended in so fast and easy. I applied it with a thicker brush, and then I went on top of that and blending it out with a fluffier brush and slowly built up that color. Then I'm taking the darkest shade and smudging that lash line and bringing it into the crease a little bit. I'm also taking that color on the lower lash line and smudging it out. Then I'm taking this metallic shade and building out that outer corner. This is really pretty because it's not too warm. It's almost like a chocolatey neutral undertone. Then I'm taking this shade. Wow, isn't it so beautiful? It has a green undertone to it, but it's not too much, and it's super reflective and sparkly. And then I'm kind of going back and forth between the brown and this shade, blending both of those out, making sure the corners are blended out. Love this. Then I'm taking this gold sparkle and putting that in the inner corner, blending it into that greener sparkly shade. I go with one finger has the gold, one finger has the green, and making sure that they're seamlessly blend in together. Lastly, I'm taking this warm brown again just to clean up the edges, the lower lash line. I always do that just to make sure everything is smooth. In the inner corner, I'm also taking that bright shade number 2. Again, I think that's great. A ton of mascara. I did put black in my waterline, and this is the finished look. I think it's so impactful yet wearable and elegant. I love this look so much. Guys, this is so much better than I expected. This palette, it is so much more intense on the eyes, and the colors show up just richer almost on the eyes than in the pan. Now it looks pretty, yes, I have a hair in here, but I'm just even more excited now that I've used it because the colors do show up more, and there's enough of a difference between all of them where I feel very comfortable recommending this palette. Not only is it beautiful, this is extremely easy to use. I mean, every single color that I put on blended in without an issue. I mean, I've used different brushes from Refer to BK Beauty to Real Techniques, and every single one of them blended that product in so easily. The shimmers go on so well with a brush and your fingers. Obviously, I'm definitely tempted to do more fingers because it's the way I like to apply makeup. But if you don't like that, using a brush, it picks up the product really well. The mattes are so much creamier than his other formula. They are powdery, so you will have a kickback. Doesn't bother me at all. It's messier here than on the eyes. On the eyes, I really didn't have an issue with fallout until my last look, which is this one. I definitely had more fallout there just because, you know, the colors are darker and I was packing the colors in more. The shimmers, I want to say they're better than the Tom Ford toppers, the Patrick Ta. These are better. They are smoother, creamier, and more impactful. These two colors, I wasn't super excited about the gold one, but once putting it on, I'm like, wow, that looks so beautiful. This color that pulls a little bit more green on the eyes, I think it's so flattering. I can see just all undertones being able to use that because it's not too green, it's not too gray. It has a little bit of brown undertone, and I think it's a very, very flattering. This color right here, wow, this makes your eyes look wet, the same as this one. These two up here, like your eyeshadow looks wet. When I went to wipe off the first two looks, I kind of looked in the mirror in natural light, and just my whole eye looked like it had a wet, sparkly shininess to it. It was a very smooth, very blended in, and just absolutely stunning. I love every single transition shade. This is great for, you know, highlighting here or the inner corner or setting your eye first if you're fairer. This is a great transition shade. This one beautiful as well. This one absolutely stunning because it has more of that gray purpley undertone, very flattering. And this pink, wow, this was quite impressive. I can see myself using this just all over the lid and maybe just a dot of this in the center. That would be such a beautiful shade. These two as well, they blend in so easy. Even though they're so pigmented and creamy, they have the easiest blendability out of most of my palettes. Also, this color, not that one, this one right here, I wish I used it all over the lid in a look, but you know, I would have had to have 4 looks. But this one is so creamy. The color is like a chocolatey brown, but it's not too warm. Absolutely gorgeous. And just putting a little bit of this gold shimmer on top of it. Let's see right there. Oh, so pretty. I used, let me see, I used this one right here. I'm going to take a little bit of this one as well to put on top of that. Oh, just so good. So this part right here is the gold shimmer on top of that. And this one right here is the one next to it that has that green undertone. I am speechless. I mean, I knew I would like the palette just because of the tones, but it has impressed me so much more in real life. This was one of the easiest palette to use, honestly, easier than Pat McGrath, because Pat McGrath has those shimmers, but they're a little chunkier and there's more fallout. It's just a little trickier to use, but this, it's a no-brainer. So easy, extremely soft, and I was wondering if there's going to be a hard paint on them, and I'll have to speak on that later, but so far I don't see that, and I've used my fingers quite a bit to get the product out, to do swatches, and I don't see hard painting on this at all. If you've been thinking about it, get it on sale. It is $68, but wow, is it worth it? It is absolutely worth it. The quality, I mean, I would pay $100 for this. Again, I am just such a neutral lover, just basic colors, but these perform so well, and the colors, I will use every single one of them. I could see myself panning many of these shades because they are so, so good. I like that there's some warmth in there, like this chocolatey color has some warmth in it. You know, you have cool tones, you have neutrals. So good. I would pay more for this. I would pay full price for this. I think it is gorgeous. You know, the outer packaging is not my favorite. I think the white just gets stained and it looks a little cheap, but it feels heavy, it feels sturdy. I like the inside. I just wish there was a better design for the outside for that price point. And I'm trying to wipe off all the fingerprints, and I think it wipes off well. They definitely upgraded the actual packaging, but not the design. So I don't know, that's just personal preference, but it truly does not matter because the quality is that wonderful. Without a doubt, this is probably my favorite palette that came out lately. I saw Morgan Turner's video. She compared quite a lot of palettes. Go check her video out. I don't have many of the palettes that she compared this with, but I'm sure there is a dupe. I absolutely think that you could dupe this. It is not these crazy colors, but the formula, the ease of use, to me, they're worth it. It is absolutely worth it, and I don't know how you'll dupe that. I cannot wait to hear your thoughts on this palette down below. Even if you think different than me and you're like, this is a waste of money, I have so many like this, I want to hear your thoughts down below because it's okay to have different opinions. But to me, this is a win, and I'm so excited to have it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.